What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Illness, across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform all over social media, y'all, all over it, to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and then also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Today's episode is going to be about time, how narcissists and toxic people do not care about wasting your time. Woof. This is going to be a tough subject right here, y'all. It's going to be tough. So, buckle up. Let's talk about it. Shout out to I Speak 1906. So narcissistic, toxic people do not care. Yeah, when I say this, they don't care about wasting your time. They will drag you along for years upon years and not care. At the end of the day, like, if they keep promising you to change, promising you to do this, promising you to do that, eventually they might end up discarding you, and then you can be like, "What? I gave you so much of my time. I wasted 10 years on this, waiting for you to change." Like, nobody told you to wait. Nobody told you to stick around for 10 years. If I was unhappy, like you said you were unhappy, I would have left a long time ago. So you must not have been unhappy. So yeah, don't try to make me feel guilty about what you decided to do with your own time. Nobody controlled you. Nobody held you hostage here. Nobody made you stick around for that long. You did that out of your own heart. And I thought you did it out of love. You did. So you didn't love me? Wow, just a wasted time. So wow, you spent 10 years not loving me? Wow. Gotcha. That's how the narcissist mind works, y'all. Like, I tell this to people all the time. Narcissists, toxic people, we are self-serving people. We just are. It's going to be a me first. It literally is it, y'all. It's me first. It's me first. And I know a lot of people get caught up in these relationships where, especially if you're a person or, man, woman, whatnot, in your, you want to start a family, right? And I've talked to a bunch of people. I've had a conversation with a bunch of people in this exact same predicament where they want to start families with narcissists. And they're like, in their later, mid to late 30s or whatnot, they feel like the clock is ticking. Their biological clock is ticking and whatnot. And then they find somebody that they want to do. They find a person who ends up being a narcissist, and they just like, well, I want to have a baby really, really bad. But this person is stringing me along. I don't know what to, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Like, how can I get this person on, how can I get this person to, value my time like they value their own time? And the simple answer is, y'all, if you're dealing with a narcissist, they will not value your time like you value your time. They just want me first, my time first, their time first, not your time. You're on their time. You know what I mean? So they will cheat on you. They will string you along for 5-10 years, leave you for somebody else, and not give you that family that you wanted. You feel like your clock has expired, and then you'll get mad. And then you'll be mad at them, and they won't. Yeah, I'm telling you, they won't care. You like narcissists don't feel guilty or remorse or regret for wasting somebody else's time. No, because in their minds, they don't feel like they wasted your time. They feel like you made a conscientious decision to be in this relationship, so you have to deal with it yourself. And no, they're not gonna. They might keep you around even longer. I've heard people be in relationships with narcissists. Especially like this is. I've heard people be in relationships with narcissists like from the prime of their lives, from like 25 to 45, and the narcissist ends up leaving them for somebody else. No kids. No kids. They want kids. They try for kids, didn't have them. Narcissists end up leaving, have a family with somebody else. I'm telling y'all, and this is just narcissistic man, narcissist woman. Like, gender is kind of irrelevant in this equation. I know people keep talking about like, can you talk about narcissistic women? I typically try to use gender neutral terms in here. I say they, them a lot. I say men, women, non-binary folks. Yes, anybody can be a narcissist, y'all. It's not just like men are narcissists. No, it doesn't work that way. But when you're dealing with narcissists and toxic people, understand how they will just drag you along, especially with the promise of leaving a relationship. Let's say you find a narcissist that is apparently separated but still living in the house with their husband or wife, and they just keep promising you that they're going to leave. Hey, look, give me a couple weeks, give me a couple months, I'm going to leave. I promise you, I'm going to leave. Give me a little while, I'm going to leave. The kids. Like, I'm going to leave. 7-8 years go by, they haven't left. Do you think they're going to leave now? I've talked to people like that before. They're like, yeah, they keep promising me that they're going to leave, and I haven't seen any changes in 6 years. I'm like, 6 years? You've been a side person for 6 years? You've been letting this person sneak around with you for 6 years? So you think 6 years, they spent 6 years in this house, one person sleeping upstairs, the other person sleeping downstairs. Has it happened? Does that happen? Yeah, sometimes it happens, but it's very rarely that happens, y'all. It's very rare that happens, And then they step outside the house, and then you're like, "Oh my goodness, you wasted so much of my time. Promise me you're gonna leave." I didn't waste your time. You know what you were doing, and then they'll start questioning your character. Like, you knew I was married, but you were still sneaking around with me. So you're not a good person here. You're innocent here. You're not a good person. You were actually been sneaking around with a married person, or a married man, or a married woman, trying to get them to break their family up. You're an evil person. They'll put that into your head. They'll say you're a bad person. But you deserve to waste your time. You deserve this. If anything, God, I'm your karma for having such a bad spirit. God told me to come into your life and wreck it. And then y'all be mad. I'm just telling you, they don't care about wasting your time. They will have you. They will string you along for as long as you make them happy. As long as they get something. As long as not as long as you make them happy. As long as they feel like they are getting something from you, they'll keep you around. And whatever resource, quote unquote resources, I've made some finger quotes for the podcast people, whatever resource they feel like they're getting from you, and they feel like that resource gets exhausted, that's when they'll discard you. That's when they'll break up with you. That's when they'll get rid of you. When they feel like those resources have been exhausted, they will do that. So I tell this to people all the time. You have to find a way. You have to find a way. You have to find a way to separate yourself from this person. And then, of course, breaking the trauma bond is hard. The narcissist does not care about the trauma bond. They don't care. They do not care about the trauma bond. They will, like I said, hey, I'm trauma bonded to you. Who cares? They're like, trauma. Anybody put you through trauma? You put yourself through trauma. They will blame you. Yo, you tell them you wasted some. You will look at a narcissist or toxic person in their face. It's like, you wasted a lot of my time, and they will just tell you wasted your own time. And then you'll start to fall back on yourself. You'll be like, "Oh, my friends and told me to leave this person alone." You should have listened. They'll tell you that. You should listen to your friends. You should have listened to your family. Then they never liked me anyway, so we was doomed from the start. I'm just telling you, they do not care about wasting your time. So if you're, like I said, especially if you want to have kids and you're in like your mid to late 30s, don't play games with narcissists. Don't, like, if they show you the red flags of narcissism, please don't play games with them. Don't play games with them from 35 to 42, 45. Don't do that, because when you do that, you're going to be mad as hell at them. You're going to be mad at them. You take the red flags and run with them. Run away from the red flags. Because they don't care. If you want to have a family, you're trying to start a family of your own, and you're in your mid to, like I say, if you're getting older, like, is it possible to have babies? Yeah, I'm just saying, but like, don't waste time on people who don't deserve your time, because they will just say you wasted on your own. They will not take any kind of accountability for wasting your time. They just will not. They won't. It's your time. It's your resource. Treat it like a natural resource. There's people there are world wars out here being fought over natural resources. Fight a war for your natural resource, which is your own time. Literally it right there. Your biggest natural resource is your time. Fight for it. Defend it. Defend it like it's a precious mineral. So if you talking to somebody and you see, like, you study narcissism, you know the red flags of narcissism, they start saying stuff like, "Hey, I'm still married, but I live upstairs. They live downstairs." Look, it's a red flag, y'all. They're waving it right there in front of your face, just like that. And then here you go. Move it out the way. What'd you say? Oh, you sleep? Do you have a king bed and they have a queen bed? No, y'all, listen to what they just said. Don't ignore the red flags because you feel like you feel like, yo. Don't let, sometimes a narcissist can sometimes sense when you have this desperation about yourself. Don't be desperate in front of toxic people, in front of anybody, because people they can sense desperation, and they can sense that you might be in a rush. And narcissists and toxic people like to move fast anyway. And then the flip side of it is you have a baby by this person you don't know, huh? You have a baby by a toxic person you don't know, and you feel like you end up being a single parent a lot of times. They'll just 86 out of your life, and then you be raising a child by yourself, and then, oh my goodness, now all your time, you don't get a break now. Now you're a full-time parent. There's no break for you now. So again, you're going to feel like that person wasted your time in a different way. Time is a resource, y'all. It's your most precious resource. Guard it with your life. Guard it with your life. Just, you have to, because the narcissist doesn't care. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear you crying. They don't want to hear no excuses. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to hear you say anything about them affecting your time or your life. They don't want to hear that at all. So you have to be the one to stand in your power and stand in your truth, because if you don't, you lose. I promise you, you're going to lose. That's the end of it right there. That's the crux of it. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode. I got to hop off of here. I really, truly appreciate y'all. Thank you. Like and subscribe for more mental health. This is out. Peace.